Grace and peace and grand rise and peeps. I hope you guys are feeling blessed this morning. It's a glorious morning. I've definitely been in my solitude bubble. I love it here. It just is what it is. Like, when you really step into understanding why you're doing everything you're doing, and you make it a point to say, my job is going to be to grow, to heal, to bloom, you really start to enjoy your own energy. You begin to understand that life is way better when you can slow it down and allow yourself to just enjoy the little moments. So many of us on this planet are unhappy, and they don't realize that you're only unhappy because you're not living by your own standards. You're living by someone else's. Once you take that back for yourself, it just gets better. Believe it or not, a lot of the things people are living for has absolutely nothing to do with their soul contract. Your soul contract is never going to say, I want to make $1 million. Never. It's not going to say any of those things. So if what you're looking for is the fame, money, money in the cars in the clothes, that's what you're looking for, most likely you're off track. Now, your contract can include fame, it can include wealth, but wealth is internal. It's an energy. This is why you can meet someone who seems to not have a lot, and yet their energy just feels so wealthy. That's spiritual wealth. That's what you're seeing on that person. Someone who can walk down the street and the way that their energy just comes across is, that's spiritual wealth. Now I'm going to get right into this video. I've done a bit of channeling on this message because I received it this morning, but I was going to channel and pull the information and write it down. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do that. Because I do find that my messages come out clearer when I just go at them. Instead of trying to pre-plan, write them down, organize my thoughts. Nah, I don't operate on a script. I will write down channeled messages as they come. But for the most part, if I am channeling and I'm able to sit down at this table, we're going to get this out, and we're just going to go ahead and flow with it. The next thing I'm going to say is you guys may hear some snoring in the back. It's going to sound like a light purr. That's my baby. So she doesn't have school today, and of course, when she doesn't have school, she asked to sleep with me, and she did. So she in the room, and I'm not about to kick her out. So y'all going to get them light purr snores in the background, and if I can hit sound reduction and take it off, then I will. But if not, she gonna be my background music today. All right, let's get into today's message. Now, what I was channeling today was about feminine energy. Now, personally, I've done a lot of healing that I know of. A lot of healing from who I used to be back in my younger years. Now, that was important to this message because that healing, that understanding of yourself, that moving into wanting to be better than when you were, wanting to understand who you were, it does a lot for you. Because now that I know who I was, I know who I won't be. Now, the message I got was the power of a healed feminine. Because yes, ladies, we got power in that healing. It's not for nothing. Can I tell you? Oh my goodness. And I wish I would have known this sooner, but then again I don't, because you gotta go through these lessons to learn. But a healed feminine is the most powerful being on this planet. her healing takes her to a level that many will not see. Now, I'm going to see how deep I can get into this message, but I am channeling it in real time. Got a couple of things I wrote down, but for the most part, it's just going to be flowing out of me. So, of course, I pray to the Lord already to allow the knowledge that is within to flow into wisdom that comes out. So you guys going to receive this wisdom today. When it comes to feminine energy and its healing, in its healed form, because many don't see it, because a lot of women are not working on their healing, it's almost like seeing a unicorn. If you've ever seen a woman who just naturally grabs you, where you can't help but look and stare and wonder just a little bit, she's in her healing stages. Now, there's been several on this planet. One that I definitely know of it right now off the top of my head, I'm hearing Marilyn Monroe. That's what it looks like. Marilyn Monroe energy. Goddess energy. And it has nothing to do with her looks. It has nothing to do with her money. It has nothing to do with what she's wearing. It's her energy. It is completely spiritual. That's what you're seeing on that woman. Now, if healed feminine energy is so powerful, why is it that it seems that healed women are more single than married? This was one of the questions that came up for me, so now let's get into that. When a woman is in her healing, she's not trying to come out of that tower for nobody, especially if it's going to take her off the throne. So, if she is being introduced to masculine energies that are not taking their self seriously, she ain't gonna take them seriously either. Therefore, leaving her in a position of either choosing to step down in order to be with a masculine or maintain her sovereignty. And when you are fully healed, you're gonna maintain your sovereignty. And I know a lot of people would be, in those positions where they're like, but what about, having that intimacy, having coitus? When you are healed, you realize it has nothing on being healed. Intimacy is not an act. It's not a physical act. It's an energy transfer. And if you want true intimacy, you have to be on the same level as the person that you are speaking to. Because if not, it's just going to take from you. It's draining you. If you are not in the right position with this energy, gosh, you snoring story, huh? It's like I'm putting her deeper into the sleep with my channeling. If you are not healed and you are having sex, you need to rethink what you're doing. Because without that healed energy, y'all are passing back and forth your traumas. And the worst thing that can happen is producing a baby where those traumas are intermingling. And now you just give them to the baby. So now the baby got a lifetime worth of generational curse trauma that it now has to work through because y'all refused to heal. But y'all was having sex. Now, when it comes to cheating, let's get into that. Cheating can be very touch and go. Now, as disrespectful as it may seem for masculine energies to cheat, they cheat due to the lack of healing, and that is the truth. When we don't prioritize our healing, our essence, that is the divine energy within you, your essence is tainted. It's low. You don't have a full tank. And when you aren't healed, a masculine can feel that. regardless if they know it or not, they can feel that. So let's just use this as an example. Let's say you have one feminine and she has 25% essence, 75% karma. And the masculine meets her. He likes her, he enjoys her. Maybe she even could possibly be the person he's supposed to be with because he really is into her. Her lack of healing doesn't supply for him. Now, he's now going to look for that other 75% elsewhere. And because he does have you and you're 25%, and if y'all are entangled, he's most likely not healed either. The other woman he's going to run into are going to be more 25%ers. So in order to make up the essence that is missing in the one feminine, he's going to have to grab 3 more. Ain't that wild? So now, of course, you feel disrespected in this because it's not the design. As a feminine, in order to step into your healing, you need support, especially if you are entangled with a masculine. You need support. And his job is actually to support you. So the mission is not being completed properly, which is why we go through what we go through. A feminine who is being empowered by a masculine can charge her essence. It's not as if it is gone and it can never be refilled. It's only gone when you allow it to deplete, and usually it is through sexual acts that you've allowed it to deplete. It is through lack of self-worth, self-understanding, development. All of that matters when it comes to how a feminine can step into her healing. So until you start looking at all these factors that help you build your essence, it may be inevitable that you'll stay at that tainted part. Now, when it comes to having sex with a healed feminine, a masculine's gonna know immediately that there's something different. And there's a couple of reasons. That healed feminine is going to take him to another place. And if you have not been in your healing, you have no idea what I'm talking about. You see, the woman, the feminine, was designed to be a portal. Thank you, Spirit. So, in real time, I'm getting the apple in the Bible that God told them not to partake of was the feminine. She was the apple. Now, the reason why, again, because it is the portal to higher knowledge and higher wisdom when done properly. When not done properly, it's literally just a task. So the feminine has the power to enlighten her masculine through coitus when you do it right, because it is a spiritual act. Sex is not physical, it is spiritual. But too many of us have turned it into something that you can just pass and go. But that was by design as well. The reason why sex has been demonized and dropped down is because at some point masculine energy realized that they could charge off of it. That's how cheating came about. That's how witch hunts came about. That's how the rise of patriarchal rule came about, because it was understanding that if you can force the woman into a submissive position and still have access to her, you can use the essence to develop yourself. Now, of course, that's very sad, because why wouldn't you just get you a feminine, pour into her, and allow her to develop so that she can just be your charging station? I don't know why that's coming up. Your charging station. And it was because they wanted to feel powerful. Now, if the masculine could do that, if they could realize that's where their bread is buttered, and then find a way to format a way to take it, that right there is your reason why it wasn't given to the masculine. God knew what he was doing. God always knows what he's doing. He knew why it was not given to the masculine. You see, the masculine is supposed to look to his feminine, and she's supposed to be looking to God. And that is how the spiritual nature of sex is supposed to work. She takes him to the place of divinity so that he can become enlightened from God, not her, from God. And when that is not done properly, when it's just a physical act, she's being depleted. She's being used up like a tube of toothpaste. And he's not being charged. She's literally just coasting. It's almost like being a useless man, unfortunately. Now, I was about to pull out my cards because I did have a question that I wanted to ask God. I wanted to ask God, why was this the design? Why did he design the feminine to have this ability to be a portal for the masculine? What was the original reason? All right, I have the receive card. Yeah. So the masculines believe that they are the providers. And they are. Their job is to go out and to provide, to make sure that everything is flowing properly. As he provides, he gives her comfort and safety and stability, which allows her to produce on her end. So it is a flow. But the feminine, through her essence, allows him to tap into grace and abundance through God. Okay, so I just got money laundering. I don't know why. So I'm going to assume. Oh, okay, I see. Money laundering. So if the masculine can produce a lot of money, money has energy. Usually it's dirty energy because it transfers so easily. When he is tapped into a divine feminine, a healed feminine, it's almost like money laundering. His money gets cleaned. His money energy gets cleaned. It becomes abundant. He can maximize on it, which means he maximizes on how he provides. So yes. It is a dance. When I tell you God know what he doing, God know what he doing. Why else are the feminines the portal for the masculines? We got the grounding card. And I'm getting cleansing of the thoughts. So we don't look at marriages and partnerships as, partnerships as much as we should. Most think business partners have to do with a connection outside of your relationship, when in all actuality, your relationship is your first business partnership. A healed feminine who is operating with a healthy masculine, and they are cultivating peace, they're understanding each other, they are supposed to be together. She grounds that masculine. If he ever has thoughts that he's uncertain about or he needs clarity on, that is his point person. It's supposed to be his feminine. Not his homeboy he knew for 20 years. No. It's supposed to be the feminine. Because her steering him correctly and allowing him to be in his own energy and have his own sovereignty while she has her own sovereignty, that's a meeting of minds that are united. When you ask your friend what you should do, your friend is not necessarily operating in your highest interest. They're operating in what they feel is best for you. And sometimes what they feel is best is not what is best for you. There's a difference. So she's supposed to be your consigliere, in a sense. And it is through that interaction that she can help you get to abundance. Because she keeps your thoughts pure. You're not out here trying to figure out how you can finagle a contract. She's helping you walk right into it so it falls into your lap. Oof, God is not playing today. Give me one more on why you designed it like this. Thank you, Father. Surrender, yeah. So, the masculine energy is very much on conquest. They naturally want to conquer. And it's not a bad thing. It's not. But it needs to be directed. I'm getting so many downloads. So, I just seen a border collie in my mind's eye. It's a dog. So, we not saying y'all dogs. But if you hear, you already know where this is going. So, border collies. They're herding dogs. They love to herd. If you have a border collie and you're in New York City, they kind of don't get to do the job, right, that they were designed for. They love it. It's fun for them. Where it may look like work to us and work to anything else, but to them, that's fun. It is purpose. That also goes for masculine energy. Masculines want to provide. Naturally, they were created to provide, to serve in a way. When he has a healed feminine who is operating and keeping him balanced, keeping him mentally stable, keeping him in that position of receiving and being in abundance, he wants to provide for her. So he does. He surrenders to her needs because they are in flow together. This is important. So if you've ever been in a position where you're wondering why this masculine won't be faithful or he can't keep a job, it's a lot of healing that needs to go on. But the first place you need to be looking is you. Because as you heal, you attract what you are. Naturally, you attract what you are. So if you are healing, you're not going to be with somebody who's unhealed and stealing from you. Well, at least that's not what you're going to want. It's like I said, a healed feminine, a woman who is walking in her divinity, is not trying to come down off of her throne just to have a little, like 20 to 30 minutes worth of some good time. Especially if it's taken from her, if it has no purpose. So we tend not to get entangled with unhealed masculines, but I feel like that message was specifically for the women who are walking into their healing. Your masculine behaves the way he does due to your lack of healing. And when you start to heal, he'll either elevate with you or you will phase him out because you'll recognize that he's not doing anything but training you. You are not his woman, you're a battery. And you're being used. No, it is not our job to raise the man, to show him how to be a man. It is our job to cultivate a space for him to be a man. Becoming a man is his choice. And that's for him to do the work. Woods wives. Adaptability. Yeah, we must adapt to what's happening around us. Too many of us feminists are falling for the traps of kind words and good looks and bank account amounts. None of that is going to get you anywhere. None of it. None of it. The kind words without backing are just words. The bank account amount, that's a trap. When you start looking at life through a spiritual lens, you understand that a lot of the things that are being presented to you are just ways of keeping you from moving forward. All of it. Because when you need to prioritize your healing. Healing is everything. You become a completely different person when you heal. Opportunities and the divine feminine, the cosmic womb. That one right there, the cosmic womb. We are the ultimate creators here, co-creators with God. We produce from ourselves, out of nothing. We know the statement that you give a woman anything, she'll multiply it. A lot of us know it, but we don't live it. We don't live it. You give a woman some food, she's going to make you a meal. You say, I think you give her a sperm, she's going to give you a baby. You give her a house, she's going to give you a home. Like, it's important to understand your role. Your importance as a feminine. You are worth way more than just an hour in your bedroom. A pretty face to take pictures with. Someone that people can, use as their status. No, you are way more than that. But you got to live up to that. Nobody can give it to you. It's yours to step into, yours to take, yours to become. And until you do, life just doesn't have its luster. It just doesn't. Let me get one more. I have compassion and connectivity. Now, heart's home. You do need to have compassion for yourself. We've all been through some stuff. A lot of times, the enemy will orchestrate ways to infiltrate our lives, to take that essence before we even have a chance to know about it. Whether it's through the lack of knowledge, connections with people we shouldn't have connections with in our youth, being put in positions where we were taken advantage of. All of that affects us. But it's up to you to let it go. Those effects are not supposed to last forever. God gave you the ability to heal. And that's what you need to do with it. Heal. It's hard, but hard ain't never stopped nothing. I can definitely tell you firsthand that I've been through everything. And I stepped into my healing. So if you're still living in that overly compassion, because I've seen the compassion card twice, so I'm going to take it as over compassion. That's that victim mind state. I've been through this and this has happened to me. It happened. But it's not you. It's an event. If you go to Coachella, you don't say, I'm Coachella. You say, I went to Coachella and it happened and it's done. Same with your trauma. Go through it, then get out of it. We need you to. It's not just you who needs to. We as a whole, as a community, we all need you to step into your healing. Because it is the only way to truly thrive and heal this world. Because it begins with the feminine. Once the feminine heals, we can heal the planet. We are the seed sowers. We are the growth cultivators, the nurturers. We will regrow the Garden of Eden, but it is through your healing. Where God may have kicked us out of the Garden of Eden, it's our job to create a whole new one. That's what God wanted to see. Can you create a new one? You have all of the power within you. Will you guys go out and create a new Eden? So I could look down and just smile at the fact that it's like, these are some of my best creations. All right, this one went a little long, so I'm going to cut it here. I think this is a 30-minute reflective podcast, but y'all needed it. If you would like to schedule a coaching call, I'm going to put my Calendly link up right here. definitely go into the link, schedule a coaching call. The first call is a free consultation. We can figure out what you need to discuss. These are the topics, and we'll go from there. It's all about growth. So you'd be surprised how much growth can come from you just understanding you, how you think, why you think the way you do. But yeah, we'll jump into that. I thank you for being here. I hope my baby snoring wasn't too bad. Let's see if I can try to cover it up in the editing process. But I thank you guys for being here. Not for me, no. For you. Because if you're showing up here, you on that path of enlightenment. You are igniting the